Hi to everybody. I'm Edoardo Crescini, a student of Padova and collaborator with the second level master GIS Science and a manned area vehicle. My thesis work is about soil sealing in Padova, voluntary mapping and open source GIS to calculate the BAF area factor index at urban scale. Soil sealing is one of the most dangerous land degradation process. It consists in the covering of soil by impervious surface as asphalt or concrete, and it have an high impact on urban ecosystem. This phenomenon also reduces the function of ecosystem services provided by soil as microclimate regulation, air quality or carbon sequestration and sink, which are important for the health of this ecosystem. The aim of the research is the estimation of the soil sealing through the use of ecological urban index. The case of study is a residential neighborhood situated in the southeast of Padova municipality and measures 300 hectares. The core process to reach this aim is the VGI approach or voluntary mapping that involve non-expert students in using open source GIS for soil mapping and ranking at very detailed scale. The range of the scale is from 1 to 1,000 meters to 1 to 200 meters. After the ranking of soil, we use BAF area factor index for modeling and quantify the soil permeability. The calculation of soil sealing was made in a QGIS environment. The first step is the VGI approach with a land use analysis through the orthophoto, which have a resolution of 20 centimeters per pixel. After this land use analysis, we utilize the BAF area factor for calculation of soil sealing and for extrapolate the average value of BAF index of the case of study. Here, an example of the detail scale at which operators worked. BAF index, or BAF area factor, was developed in the Western Berlin sector in the 1980s, but it was introduced in the landscape program of Berlin municipality only in the 1994. And it represents different types of green spaces according to their permeability. It's divided in 9 classes, and its formula is the amount of ecologically effective surface area in proportion to the total land area. Here, the range of value for the BAF index that is from 0 to 1. 0 is for the sealed surface and 1 for the surface with vegetation. Another example can be 0.3, that is the partially sealed surface. So the soil is permeable to air and water, but plant doesn't grow. The participatory mapping was made with non-expert students, in totally 26. And we made a series of laboratory activities where students understood through the I-thinking approach the problem of soil sealing and learned open source spatial tools for territorial analysis. The potentiality of this approach is the rapidity in the futures extraction and in the surface mapping. After the collection of all data, we made a unique project file where we found some critical issues as the heterogeneity in data extraction or in the land use classification and polygons overlaps. I made a review of the final project for make a more clear mapping. In fact, as we can see from the comparison of the two pictures, in the old data mapping from the VGI analysis are 8,500, and after my review we have 7,300 polygons. These are some photos of our laboratory activities, where we can see the students learn QGIS software. And then the results are some outmap. The first one is the VGI model. When we divided in 26 sectors the area of study, and every operator map a single one. During our land use analysis, we found 30 classes of land use in according with land program Padova municipality. And then from each type of land use, we correlate a BAF value to arrive at the modeling of BAF Index that show in red all impervious surface with BAF value 0 that cover the 44% of the whole area, and in green the surface with vegetation with BAF value 1 that cover 55% of the total area. The rest, 1%, is divided in the class inside of the range. Another way to show the permeability of this case of study is the grid analysis, where we use a BAF value normalized to 1,000 square meters, that is the size of a single hexagon. The hexagon represents the amount of the average value of BAF at inside, because we have many features with different BAF value, and from this analysis we can extrapolate the average value of BAF, that is 0.56. To conclude, this study shows in particular the potential of VGI analysis to collecting data and also to share territorial knowledge. Also the use of ecological urban index for make a scientific land use analysis, but also for model the environment. And at least GIS and geospatial technologies as an instrument not only for the government but also for the citizen for the urban sustainability. Thanks for attention.
Thank you very much, Edoardo. We unexpectedly finished on time, exactly at 5:30. So there are questions to make to the colleagues. Yes, please. Just a moment. The microphone will come.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm very impressed from the high level of details that you were mapping. A lot of classes, different levels of soil sealing degrees, but also land use classes. Are you now extrapolating that to other regions, and do you have an automated process working with this information, or will it stay like this, that it only works with human interaction?
No, during the laboratory, the student mapping and make the land use analysis. So at a very scale detail, they say this is the garden or a park or streets. We use the I-thinking approach to extrapolate the data.
Yeah, this is a question to, I don't remember your name, but in behind, about the machine learning. Yeah. The purpose of your models, can you describe that again? Is it to detect if the energy labels are correct,